So there seems to be a bug or something weird configuration going on with Adobe After Effects and when you export using Adobe Media Encoder. So I was working on introductions and outros to my new tutorials with the new format I've been working on. And if I open up this one, hey, Nathan here, welcome to the very first tutorial for the flat panel. Let me turn that down a little bit. When I get to the end, it repeats the last word or last couple words. It's like about 1.5 seconds worth of audio. Paddle control enum that we just created. So that is the plan for this tutorial. Hey, Nathan here. Welcome to the very. You heard that? That's the plan for this tutorial. So it repeated my word tutorial. That is nowhere in the composition. That is nowhere in the audio file I made. I only said tutorial once at the end. But when I exported using Adobe Media Encoder, it did some sort of audio repetition, and I'm not the only one that's having this issue. So if you use Adobe After Effects, and a lot of people have said it works, it does the same thing in Premiere Pro. If you export using Adobe Media Encoder, this will happen in a lot of cases. A lot of people said it only works on short compositions, short files, which is what mine are. Mine are about 1 to 2, 3 minutes long. Others say it works if it will not work if you have about a 3-second gap at the end of the composition. I didn't try that. What I'm trying now is I am mastering the files, which is exporting directly from After Effects in a lossless format. A 1-minute composition is going to be about, I can pull that up here. So a 1-minute composition, like a little bit over 1 minute, that might be. Yeah, 1 minute, 8 seconds. This is 24 gigabytes. That 1-minute file is 24 gigabytes. So it is a lossless format. So I'm mastering the file, and then when I go into Adobe Media Encoder, I will use that master file, and I think this will work. I did this once, I tried this once, and I think that will work. If that doesn't work, I'm just going to have to do something else. But I just want to give everybody a heads up. I've been dealing with this for a few hours, trying to find out what's going on. So just a little PSA video for those that use these programs and use Adobe Media Encoder. You might run into this issue. By the way, I've only run into this issue with the latest update. This is 2015.3. I've only ran into this issue since then. It didn't do this before. And I don't know what happened. A lot of people have mentioned that it was happening before. It was happening last year for several people. So I don't know. If you run into this issue, you're not the only one. It's not a setting. It shouldn't be a setting somewhere. When audio is done in the composition or the project, it should be done. It should in no way repeat the last second. That whatever reason is going on, I don't know why this hasn't been fixed yet. So if you run into this issue, try what I'm doing. Output directly from After Effects or output directly from Premiere. Do not use Adobe Media Encoder. Use the lossless. Master the file. It's going to be a very large file. 15 gigabytes, 20 gigabytes for a 1-minute file from After Effects, for example. And then you can use that in Adobe Media Encoder and make a smaller version for that. We'll find out here in a second. So that is done. Now if I go back to my master files. Now my master files, this is going to be very difficult. So a 3-minute, less than 3, or I think it's less than 3. Yeah, 2 minutes, 32 seconds. Look how big it is. 52 gigabytes. I doubt that this will play very well because it's so
Hey Nathan
massive.
here, welcome to the last tutorial for that. The movement needs to be a little bit less jaggy, so I offer some recommendations on that.
Alright, that seemed to fix that one.
Hey Nathan here, welcome to the second paddle. The next class will be the ball entity class, and this one will be responsible for collision. And then the last class we need to make is the enemy's paddle class.
Alright, so it's not in the master file. So my next task is going to be if it's going to be in the output when I use the master file. So I already did the generic tutorial outro, so I need these three. Alright, and those go into compressed files. This is tutorial 1 introduction. I'm going to replace that one. Yes. And that one's 2, second introduction, tutorial 2. Yes. And the third introduction here. Yes. I'm going to let that go. Now I'm just going to let this recording go. I will cut it up and speed it up at some points. Actually, I can do my streaming be right back screen, so I'll be right back. Alright, so the first one is done. Let's take a look at that. It's in compressed files. It's over here.
Hey Nathan here, tutorial enum that we just created. So that is the plan for this tutorial.
So no repetition. So if we look at tutorial 3.
Here, welcome to. So it's not a so it doesn't look like a computer's playing it. The movement needs to be a little bit less jaggy, so I offer some recommendations on that.
So we know this one, recommendations on that is repeated.
Jaggy, so I offer some recommendations on that.
So when that gets to the third one, we'll see if that is resolved. Alright, so the third one is finished.
Hey Nathan here, welcome to the be a little bit less jaggy, so I offer some recommendations on that.
No repetition.
Random, so it's not a so it doesn't look like a computer's playing it. The movement needs to be a little bit less jaggy, so I offer some recommendations on that.
Alright, so there you go. If you use these programs and you run into that issue, just render it directly from the program, either After Effects or Premiere Pro. Master it by providing a lossless format. The file size is going to be massive. You saw my 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute videos, and they were 20 gigabytes, 50 gigabytes. So the file size is going to be massive. Once you do that, you can manually open up Media Encoder and then just drag that master file in this and create your whatever you want to create. In this case, I have a VBR preset for variable bitrate for my tutorials. So whatever your desired output is, you do this using your master file using Media Encoder. Okay. So now that this is all figured out, let me see if this
Well, thanks for watching. Live and going. So, stay tuned for the next video. Live and going.
So I needed to redo that. It had repetition as well. Okay, so that is it for this video. I just wanted to give a PSA. There's a bug in After Effects using Adobe Media Encoder. I just wanted to get this video out there for those that have used this before. So, thanks for watching.